Hey guys, what's going on? I know. You still don't care, do you? I won't even bother with my introduction because why bother? Woody's back, kids. That's why it doesn't matter. Say hi to Woody. There you go. Woody Rock, formerly of Drew Hill, all around great guy. He did the other one with me, so he decided to come back and do this one too.
Oh
We even
yeah.
changed clothes for you because we do know how to do laundry.
See?
So dig Woody's hoodie. Woody's hoodie. That rhymed. I don't know if you
Oh
noticed.
man.
See, there
We
we go.
kinda match. But we look
Hey,
like we on the same force, like Power Rangers and Voltron.
I know, right?
Yeah, man.
Nintendo controller and Reese cups. See,
Hey,
with
got some
microphone
snacks while
hanging.
you play the game.
There you see. There it is.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there. Okay, so this time I got to pick because Woody picked the last one. If you haven't seen the last video, what's the matter with you? You should have already seen it. But if you didn't, it's cool. You can go click on it now. But no, don't click on it now. Wait for this to finish and then click on it. Don't be hasty.
Right,
Um,
right. Slow
right,
your
right,
roll.
right. See, there you go. There's a way to do things. You see. But now we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects. We're going to talk about Tamia. Now, to me, you already know this, but I'm going to bore you with it anyway. So Tamia was discovered by Brenda Ritchie. Um, I forget what year though. We should find out what year she was discovered because these things matter. Darn it.
That's Lionel Richie's wife, right?
Yeah,
No,
Brenda
former
Hart.
wife, yeah.
Yeah, former wife. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So where is it? So she was discovered like 1995 is when she was discovered.
Makes sense.
Um, and she came onto the scene with that cover of that Mika Paris song, "You Put a Move on My Heart," which was written by Rod Temperton. You know who Rod Temperton is,
Right.
don't
Quincy Jones bought her out on one of his projects, right?
you? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Q's Juke Joint. Yeah, that was
Right.
the
Yep, I
first song,
remember that.
the first place we got that song. It's of course it's served Mika did it just a couple of years prior, and she did
I
it on
never
her.
knew that.
Oh yeah.
No, I
It's
never knew
nice
that was
too.
her
She did a
too.
nice version of it. And
Yeah.
better yet, Rod Temperton produced that version of it.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's worth hearing. It's definitely worth hearing. So, and that was just a couple of years before they did this one too. So he ended up giving the tune to it launched to Mia. And it showed up on Q's Juke Joint back in December of 1995, right? Yes, it did. And Q produced it, of course. And um, it's absolutely genius.
Mm-hmm.
I love her version of that song. She has a thinner voice than Mika does, but it works. She can because it's thinner, it can get up really really high.
Right. Yeah.
Um, Although you know what, I forgot to I was going to play this with my brother earlier, but have you heard Jennifer Hudson's version of it?
No, I never knew she
So
did one.
she did. So it
Oh.
appeared on the Q Bossa Nostra album.
Hmm.
And I don't remember what year, but now I have to know since I ran my mouth. Now I have to go look. See, I got myself into trouble because I talked too much.
All
Um,
right, but whenever you talk, we learn something. So keep on talking, man.
yeah, but now it's looking like I don't know anything because I don't remember. But that's okay. It doesn't matter what I look like. It only matters that we learn here. So Q Bossa
Exactly.
Nostra, there it is. Soul Bossa Nostra. That was done in 2010.
Okay.
So it's like the Q Bossa Nostra album is basically an album of cover songs
Hmm.
imagined by other people. So he executive produced the record, of course, but he didn't produce it. So you get like um there's this other version of Strawberry Letter 23, which of course was done by Shuggy Otis to begin with,
Hmm.
and that was done by Akon.
Oh wow.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Um Gimme the Night, which was done by Jamie Foxx,
Hmm.
produced by David Banner.
What?
It's fire.
That sounds
It's
interesting.
absolutely fire. It's so good though. Like Jamie singing the bridge,
Wow.
bruh. It's so good. Oh my
Get
God.
well, Jamie, man. By the way, while we talking about him,
Yes.
man. One of my
Yeah.
all-time favorite singers, man. That peep this album, the first one that he brought out with
He knows.
Infatuation and Light a Candle and all that on it.
Light a candle. Yes, you know.
Man,
Man,
man.
We Are the Same. Yes, I
Hmm.
love that record. I got it when it came out because it first introed on the Arsenio Hall show.
Right. When it
I
was
had to have the
Mary,
tape.
Mary, quite contrary. How did your garden grow? Yes, sir.
Gosh. And then Woody just sang, my
Did
gosh.
you hear the what you call when he sung slow dance at the comedy show? When he did what's it called? Midnight Atlantic Star or Midnight? It's Midnight Star that sings slow jam.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah.
remember when he did that and then he sung Luther? If only for
No,
one night. I'm gonna send it to you when we get off here. I'm gonna send it to you. He
that
was
would
one of
be
his
him.
comedy shows. He was sitting there playing the piano and singing like he sound man,
Him doing If Only for One Night had to be incredible.
killing
That
it,
song's great
killing
anyway.
it. And then he was in like somewhere down the south where everybody can sing. So like the whole audience was like his background singers, and it was just ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I believe that. Well,
Hmm.
even him doing his theme song, like the second version of the Jamie Foxx show theme,
Hmm.
like people listen to that for fun.
Right.
It's like it's so good. The simple things, bro, come
Yeah.
on.
Yep.
It's
I
so
remember that.
short.
Yeah.
It's so
Remember when
short.
him and Tommy Davidson did Jodeci?
Yes.
And I was like, yo, they sound like Jodeci's like my favorite group, but they sound good singing it. Like, you know how you
Yeah.
don't like people singing your favorite people's stuff? And it's
Yeah.
like, yo, this actually sounds good too. Like, that's when I was like, man, yeah, this guy is definitely serious.
Yeah. Yeah. He has an amazing voice. Always
Hmm.
did.
Hmm.
Always did. And could write too. Like he had a good
Yeah,
pen too.
yeah.
Which which is all the more puzzling because by the time he showed up again with another record, he basically stopped writing. He gave it to other people to write his songs.
Tank, he said he invited Tank to live with him, I think, because Tank was in between deals and stuff.
Hmm.
And Tank did a lot of that stuff for that Unpredictable album. I think he had a song from Static Major.
Yeah, he
Devon
did.
from 112 did something on there. RL that Forecast song.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, yeah, that album is a masterpiece too.
it is. It's a great record. It's just he didn't
Yeah,
have all that much to do with it, like compositionally speaking.
right.
But
Yeah,
when you sing like that, it's okay. I'm
yeah.
not bothered. I would like to hear more of him, like
I
more
had
of
the
his own
double
pen.
sided one. There was like a double sided. It was half a CD and half a DVD. And on the other side of it, he had songs that he actually wrote. Yeah, it
Good.
was a DVD. He was sitting at the piano singing.
That's right. Yeah, 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 yeah. I
Hip
forgot about
hop kid, the R&B singer. Oh, that was all there. And the I Got a Woman, the one that he did, like not the one that just on the Gold Digger, but he did his own version of that I Got a Woman song.
that. Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
send
yeah,
you
yeah.
that too. That thing, boy, it almost bring you to tears. The melody that he did on that.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love to hear that. That
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Jamie
But come
Foxx
on,
can.
my turn. I'm gonna reel it on to this time because last time you was reeling on it. Let's get back to our girl, man.
Sorry. All right, I'm
Hey,
sorry. It's my but see, I didn't
hey,
reel
I
you
did it
in.
the first time.
But I didn't see, I didn't reel you in, but you're
Yes, you
reeling me in.
did.
I
No,
did
you
not.
reel me in every time. But
I
you
did
just
not.
smoother with it. Your transition smoother than mine. That's all.
I let you go. I didn't
Yeah.
even stop
Well,
you.
no, go ahead then. Shit.
The shade. The shade from Woody Rock right now. I'm saying, no, it's fine.
No,
It's fine. I'm kidding.
no,
That's
never. I'm
no,
a
it's
man. I'm a fan of your art.
no.
You are like no, because like you know, you're so knowledgeable. Like when you talk about stuff, like sometimes people talk about stuff, but then you bring out like actual facts and fun facts, like stuff that you didn't know. Sometimes people bring out facts and you be like, man, I don't care about that. But the facts that you bring out be actual stuff that you actually care about.
It's just
And that's why
it's
I enjoy listening to you because it's like
oh
every time, like I really mean every time I watch one of your videos, I learn something. And it'll be a
oh
song that
man.
I thought I knew everything that it was to know about that song or about that artist, and then you throw something out there. I'm like, dang, I'm hitting up other people that I know is fans. I'm like, did you know this? Did you know that? They're like, nah, I ain't know it. I'm like, well, shoot, you need to check my man out. You
That's
check
the
his
beauty.
videos out.
That's the
Yeah,
beauty of being old. You stick
this is
around
true.
long enough, you learn a thing or two. Like that's all
This
that
is
is.
true.
It's just the
This is
beauty of
true.
being 49 years old.
And I would never give you 49.
I
You
I
blessed.
know. I've been told I don't look a day over 48, you know. I'll take it.
Oh man,
You know what it is?
when you
It's just
got a
that
good spirit.
I just
Yeah, you
haven't
got a
turned
good
around
spirit, you
my
don't
camera.
age.
What's that?
I said when you have a good spirit, you don't really age.
Oh man, thank
It's
you,
just
thank
like
you.
when you just like mean and evil and being mean and stuff like that. I think that stuff ages. And when you stress over things
Doesn't
and
it?
people stress you out, yeah,
It does. Yeah, it ages you when you're angry like that. It really does
yeah,
age.
yeah.
Yeah.
I used to
That's
be angry. See what happened?
oh no. He did it. He did it. He did it. He pulled the cap off. I
No,
can't.
but I say this: my mama took her time and shake my head, so it's a perfect little light bulb. So I
It
don't mind
is.
showing it
See,
every once in a
that
while.
that works for you. See, it wouldn't. We talked
Right.
about this before. It would not work on me.
I
Like,
think you could pull
nah.
it off because Randy Orton. I'm gonna send you another picture of Randy Orton. He cut his down. It's not bald, but it's really low. It's like a buzz cut, and I think you could. He pulled it off, so I think you could pull it off.
I can't with the Randy Orton. This must stop immediately.
Let me stop for you. RKO somebody and then make the news.
See.
You go
Well,
around
thank you
start
very much
putting
for
wrestling
watching,
moves on
everyone.
people.
Thank you for watching. This has been Slept On. No, it's not. But right, so Slept On. So where were we? Oh yes, right. So that record.
See,
Um,
see how you did it, and you didn't even realize you did it. You always bring it right on back.
well, but see, I kind of didn't, but because I was gonna go to the because I was trying to tell you, like on this record, there's also this version of PYT that
Who's
was
singing?
it says that it's produced by T-Pain.
Hmm.
It's it's not really. It was actually produced by Mervyn Warren, but
Oh,
he gets the who Mervyn Warren is, yeah.
oh yeah, from Take Six.
See, stuff. See,
Oh
that's
yeah.
I love conversing with people that know stuff. You know stuff. It's yeah. But he's actually the one who did it, and he did all the editing and all that stuff. But it looked cooler to say that T-Pain produced it, so he got the credit
Wow.
for it. But yeah, it's a great version. Robin Thicke is singing most of it, and
Ooh,
T-Pain does the choruses. It
ooh.
works. It totally works. And there's this I forget her name. Um, Mervyn actually told me at one point when we were conversing back and forth on Facebook a long time ago, but it was a Swedish singer that does all the background
Mm,
vocals. And
mm,
she does like these ad libs at the end. Bro,
ooh.
it's an amazing version of, I mean, it's not Jacob Collier because that's a whole other thing,
Right, right. You
but
put me onto
it's
that.
Jacob Collier. I could talk about him forever.
Yeah,
But
for
like,
sure.
but yeah, no, it's good. It's a good album. Like, yeah. And then of course there's Secret Garden that's got Usher and Robin Thicke and Tyrese and LL Cool J and Tevin Campbell and
Wow. We did Secret Garden, but they never finished it.
you
I'm gonna
did
send you. I'm gonna send you what we have, what we got done.
you guys did Secret Garden?
We never finished it.
Why
It's
not?
only me, Scola, and Jazz on it. Everybody else never came in and did their parts. But I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send you the MP3 so you can hear how we started, at least where
I,
we direction we was going with it.
I would love to hear. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you.
I mean, I have to ask, why did you finish it? What happened? Do you know?
We never. I don't think we ever. No, we never finished that album. Period. It was just a lot going on around that time.
So this was part of a record that just didn't get finished.
Yeah, like a whole album that never got done.
My goodness.
Hmm.
Wow. So was this between like the between like the second and third one?
After the third one.
After the third one. Okay.
Hmm.
I wondered what was going on there because y'all went radio silent for a minute. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, so interesting. Okay. See, in the middle of these conversations, I get to learn new things about Drew Hill I didn't know. That's cool. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, because but there's a version of that here on this record, but
Ooh.
there's this other version of You Put a Move on My Heart that was
Hmm.
done by Jennifer Hudson, produced by Scott Storch.
Ooh.
And he understands chords. He can
All right.
play.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all of those tricky little jazz chords that Rod Temperton is known for, they're in the tune because he knew how to play them. So they're all there. Plus, it's got groove for days.
Hmm.
The background singing on that track, my gosh.
Ooh. Did she do it all, or somebody? She had some other people.
No, it's not her at all. It's
Hmm.
let me see if there's the credits are not here. I'm terrible. I don't know anything tonight. But yeah, it's somebody else, but it's one singer doing all the stacking in the backgrounds.
Okay.
It's brilliant. It's so yeah. My gosh. And she, instead of doing that last high note in falsetto, because
Mhm.
she's Jennifer Hudson, she did it full
Right.
voice. So
Woo!
just, yeah, you need to hear it. Just trust me on that one.
Yeah, definitely gotta check that
It
out.
is essential listening. Yes, for all of you, not
Mm,
just Woody, but all of you. Shame on you
yeah,
for not
all of
hearing it.
y'all.
Yes,
Shame on all
all
of us.
of y'all. All of y'all. That's it.
Man.
But for right now, we're going back to Tamia. So Tamia puts out her first record finally, many years. Well, it wasn't many years later. That's not fair, but she did finally put out the record, her solo record. She was signed to Quest to put it out on, um, and I am trying in vain to figure out because it's no, but it's not listing. Okay, so give me just a second. I was trying to be seamless about this, but I blew it. So to me, I got to get back to the wiki page because I forget the year that she did that first record. So I want to find that out. Okay, so 1998, she comes out with her debut record. You've heard the album, right? The first record,
Hmm.
fire. My
Yeah,
God, we were
my little
not.
sister loves her. Like she'd prefer her remix of certain songs that like I love. She'd prefer Tamir's version over like the original ones, like the one in Tomorrow that she made over.
Searching. It's just, I mean, imagination is great. Like the JD tune
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
that samples the Jackson 5 song, of course. So Into You is on it that Tim and Bob joined. Never Gonna Let You Go, which is the best thing on the record. That's Mario Winans,
Oh,
which is
okay.
great. And he did the
I like
backgrounds in the
Mario
middle
Winans
eight
on
too.
it. Yeah, I like him on the production.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
dope.
He's got a great voice too. Like that's like I said, I mean, that's him in the middle eight in the background.
Wow.
He sounds
He's the
great on
one.
it.
He's the
Yeah.
one that's man.
Clearly.
You kid, huh?
Clearly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. That whole family is something special.
Agreed. Yeah. Falling for You, which is basically just Best of My Love by the Emotions with different lyrics.
Whoa, whoa. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. What is it? Yeah. What else is on here? Rain on Me is good. I forgot about that one actually. Gotta Move On is great. Loving You Still.
Mm-hmm.
Daryl Simmons. Sheesh.
Okay.
She
Somebody just sent me a
destroys.
picture of Daryl Simmons posted with us in his studio. I think
Yeah,
it was
because you
like
guys
last
worked
week.
with him too a fair amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just posted a picture, throwback picture of us like last week because a couple people sent it to me on IG.
Oh wow, yeah. Because you did what was it? We're Not Making Love No More, right? That was him.
Hmm. He did that. He did In My Bed. He did
In my bed. Yeah.
what's the song? The Love We Had Stays on My Mind. The Del's
Yep.
remix. He did that. He did he did a couple. He did like four songs on us, like two on the first two albums.
Yeah, there was what was the other one? My brain's not working. The one that Jazz mostly sang.
I'll be
Never
the
Make a
one
Promise.
and Never Make a Promise. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was Face and him, right? It was both of them.
No, that was him.
Or was it just Daryl? It was just Daryl? Okay.
Yeah, that was him. He used to have the best popcorn.
Oh, did
That's
he?
what I remember the most about his studio. Like it was all like no unpopped kernels, none burnt. Like he just used to have like the best popcorn every time. It'd be like a big old tub.
Just like regular buttered popcorn, or was it a
Yeah,
flavor?
just regular butter popcorn, but it just was like
Mm.
immaculate every
Immaculate
time.
popcorn.
Yeah, like he never messed with it. Like he never messed up. Yeah, it's just great.
Oh
And he's
wow.
just so chill and laid back, like his personality. Like he calls himself like the silent partner. Like that's his name.
Yeah,
Like he's
Silent
right
Partner
there with
Productions.
LA and Face, but he was just like, you might not know my name, but I'm making these hits too, and I'm making his money too. Cause this spot was real nice. He just seemed so cool and humble and so down to earth, you know.
And then
And
he
so
can write
chill.
something, and then he can write something like "Loving You Still." Like
Yeah.
it's a brilliant tune. I mean, you could almost do that for this too, because I mean, to be real, like "Loving You Still" didn't do that well. I mean,
Mm.
it in fact
It
it
was
did
a
absolutely.
single?
Yeah, it was a single, and it only got to number 78 on the R&B charts. It didn't do anything. It didn't chart on the pop charts at all.
Oh.
Like what? It's weird. Just people are weird.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it didn't do anything. And it's such a great song. That production is just fire. Sheesh. Like, but okay. So she does this record, and this album did all the triple scale musicians are here too, by the way, just if you're curious. And it did okay. I mean, it got to number 18 on the R&B charts. No certifications or anything like that, at least not at this point. It got to 67 on the Billboard Top 200, which isn't great, honestly. Um, but it did enough at least to justify a second record, so that's good. So then
Right.
we ended up getting A New Day, which came out in 2000, and they got Missy on the record, and of course that so at that point that has to be the first single, and it was, which was Can't Go For That, which is that riff on the Hall and Oates tune.
Mm.
Uh, that Missy wrote lyrics to, and it's fine, I guess. It's okay. That cover of Love Me in a Special Way.
Mm.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, we like that a lot. And remember she starts out with Tell Me Something Good, remember at the piano?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just
Ah,
Shep is playing. It's like, see if you
yeah.
remember this one. It's like, oh, now I have to go there, and then she starts singing it. It's just
Yeah.
beautiful. You knew you had me. Like, yeah. Um, it's such a great version of that song. Stranger in My House.
That was a smash. That's still
Yeah,
a karaoke favorite to this day, man. You go to
is
karaoke,
it?
you gonna hear a lady singing that or trying to.
It's such a great. I mean, like, dude. Okay, so we
Them
should go
lyrics,
here
man.
for just a second. Like Shep Crawford, like story songs. He
Yeah,
came up with such great stories.
yeah.
Like,
Stuff he did on like Deborah Cox and man,
yes.
yeah,
Why are we
Kelly
the
Price.
same?
Remember Kelly Price's second album, that Mirror
Yes.
Mirror? The stuff he did on there.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yes. But like, I mean, there are so many good ones. Like, I Thank You in Advance by Boys to Men.
Where's the man? Yeah.
It's like he would come up with these brilliant concepts.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, We Can't Be Friends with RL and Deborah Cox.
Another
Come
karaoke
on.
banger. Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, it's just such a relatable lyric. Like, I went
Right.
by mother, saw your car there. To her, you're still family, and it don't seem fair. Like, you can feel that. Like,
Yeah,
that
that's
happens.
so
That is
real. It happens all
life.
the time. Yeah.
Yes, that's just
Happened to me
life.
before. Some girls that ain't work out, but they mama still. I remember the one girl mama was like, guys would call the house, like, that don't sound like Woody. I'm like, come on, mama, don't get me beat up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
he's right. He writes slice of life stuff, like,
exactly. Super relatable.
and completely understands how it feels. I mean, the stuff that RL was singing was just perfect too. Just
Hmm.
what was that? I'm trying to think of that. Um, to just act like we never would and not come around and not to come around and not show hurt. How dare we greet by shaking hands? Just months ago, I was your man.
Right,
Like, it's so relatable.
right.
It's like, geez, like, and then at the very end when they're singing together,
Yeah,
like, we can't be friends. I'm still in love with you. And it's like you can, it like it feels like they've given in.
right,
Like, okay, we have to try again. Like,
right.
we are what we are. We can't pretend we're friends. Like,
Exactly.
it's just the production. Just, geez. I could go on about that song for quite a while.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Like, man, bring back that era of music.
Yes,
Bring
like,
some of that back to where we at now.
I mean, I love a good
Where
love
is
song.
he? Like, does he do music? Do you know? Like, has he done anything recently?
See, that's what I'm looking for, and I have no shame. We are cheating yet again. He is still working. He did
Okay.
let's see if there's anything recent though. Because the last thing I'm seeing is like same script, different cast. Oh,
Okay.
okay. So Sing, Pray, Love, Volume One, Sing, which he did with Kelly Price.
Okay.
But that was still like 9 years ago.
Mm.
There's the two. Okay, so in 2000, 2000, yeah, not recent, not since. Uh, yeah, I mean it's been a minute. Shep, come back.
Come on back, man. Yeah.
Like, come back. He worked on Tamia's last record, which the
Okay.
last one she did for Def Jam, which was in
Okay.
2015. The one that had Sandwich and a Soda on it.
Oh snap.
That song, though.
Oh snap. I gotta
Oh
check that out. I
God.
never heard that one, but it sounds interesting. The title sounds interesting.
Yeesh. It's brilliant. It's very tongue in cheek. I really like it. But okay, so she comes out with the New Day, and it did better. I mean, it got to number 8 on the hip hop charts. It did go gold, so it did do better.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and Stranger in My House is probably responsible.
Yeah, yeah, that was a hit
I
for
seem to
sure.
recall that, yeah, I thought it was. And it was. Okay, so that got to number 3 on the R&B charts
Mm-hmm.
and number 10 on the pop chart. So it just did well, period. So that
Yeah, that
probably
video
drove the
was
record.
everywhere.
It
Yeah.
was. Yeah, that you
Mm-hmm.
couldn't escape the video. It was
Right.
such a good video. Just
Mm-hmm.
well done in general. So finally, Tamia has her hit. And then, so I remember, and I can't look this up, but I remember she was trying to put another record together on Elektra, and it kept getting messed with over there. I remember, so the record ended up being called More, but I remember when it first surfaced, it was supposed to be called Still.
Mm.
And it had a bit of a different track listing. And for some reason, so I'm looking in there. I didn't expect for this to be here, but there is some stuff here. So, but this is kind of whitewashing it. So it says it was created over a period of 3 years in which the singer gave birth to her first child. That's true. She did.
Okay.
It does reference the fact that the record was initially titled Still. But they say that it was indefinitely bumped from its original August 2003 schedule after Tamia was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and forced to undergo treatment. Yeah, that does make sense.
Oh, wow.
But there was also this other album. So it's most of it's here, but it's fair. But then they ended up sending her back into the studio with other people to kind of fix the record. Yeah, because it even mentions it. They sent them in to revamp parts of the album, which saw her also re-teaming with frequent partners like Jermaine Dupri, Shep Crawford, and Mario Winan. So they put that in there, but they don't cop to the fact that some of it showed up on Napster, which is the reason that they had to retool the record.
Right.
But so anyway, More comes out. Eventually, it finally shows up years after the fact, and it had this song on it. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. Thank you for watching. Slept On. We'll see. No, I will tell you. That would be mean spirited.
We can't do it like that, man.
No, we can't do that. So now I'm sharing computer audio because I neglected to do it at first. Okay, we're on this already about it. So out comes this song. Now this song, you'll never believe who wrote it. The song was actually written by Marcus Vest. I know that name makes no sense to you, but he goes by the name Seven Aurelius.
Okay.
Do you remember who Seven Aurelius is?
Yeah, but wow. I didn't know he did that, though.
Neither did I. I was quite surprised that was him. He's the guy that did all the Ja Rule things. He worked for Murder Inc. Was the staff producer for Murder Inc.
Right.
And he wrote this. You know what? Let's just play it. There's an idea. We will play the song, and then you will hear how ridiculous it is coming from him, and then we will talk about it. So this is called Officially Missing You by Tamia from the More album.
Officially Missing You. Take one.
Is raindrops falling on the rooftop. Oh baby, tell me why'd you have to go? 'Cause this pain I feel, it won't go away. And today I'm officially missing you. I thought that from this heartache I could escape, I've run it long enough to know there ain't no way. And today I'm officially missing you. Can't nobody do it like you. Said every little thing safe to say that I officially missing you. Can't nobody do it like you. Said every little thing you do. Hey baby, say no, it stays on my mind. And I'm officially, well, I thought I could just get over you, baby. But I see there's something I just can't do. From the way you would hold me to the sweet things you told me, I just can't find a way to let go of you. Can't nobody do it like you. Said every little thing you do. Hey baby, say no, it stays on my mind. And I'm officially, it's official. Oh, you know that I'm missing you, yeah, yes. All I hear is raindrops, oh yeah. And I'm officially missing you.
Mm,
Man,
absolutely gorgeous.
that really is a masterpiece of a song, man.
Yeah.
From the music to the vocals to the man, even how she was riffing and running in the background vocals all together and synced it. Yeah, yeah, you did good. This is a really good pick.
Yeah, I
I
mean, it's just,
forgot how dope it was for real.
yeah, I know. Well, apparently everybody else did too. Check this
Uh-oh.
out. So we get to officially, I gotta get the page again. Shame on me for I closed the page. Okay, there we go. We got it back. All right, we're cool. So officially missing you. This is a crime against humanity.
Mm-mm.
So on the Billboard Hot 100, it peaked at number 83. Okay, fine. I don't like it, but fine. But it ain't like we did much better with it. Over on the R&B side of things, it peaked at
Uh-oh.
number 31,
Wow.
right?
I'd have thought it would have been way higher for real.
So would I. I'm sure they probably felt the same way.
Hmm.
'Cause-
Goodness.
And this, yeah, and this was off on the heels of that duet she did with Fabulous too.
Oh
Which
yeah, yeah.
remember Into You, where he
Mm-hmm.
took her track and yeah. So, but I mean, it was a good lift. I mean, it sounds good, but and that went all the way to number 6 on the
Yeah,
R&B charts,
that was big. Yeah.
and number 4 on the pop charts. Like,
Heck yeah.
so how could it miss? Well, it did. Boy, did it miss. Because yeah, I mean, that's crazy. It just doesn't make any sense.
And how
So
beautiful of a song it is. Like, man, it really like
yes,
take you somewhere else.
yeah,
But
and
sometimes I think that being, deprived of good music like that for so long, when we go back to it now, it hits even better than when it hit originally because it was so much good music at that time that it was easy to miss some stuff. But now
yeah,
we so starved for good music when we hear stuff like that now, then we like, hey, how could it have missed? Like maybe if it came out now, it'd probably
maybe
be
not.
crazy
Yeah.
because like we don't hear nothing else like it on the radio.
I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying, and I get it. But I mean, I remember hearing it when it came out, and I
Yeah, I
was
saw
just
the
like,
video quite a bit because, like, I always like to do my homework. So once you let me know what we was gonna be, listening to, I went and listened to it
mm,
and watched the video, and
did
I
you?
like, I remember this video. I
Yeah,
remember watching this, and it did come on quite a bit.
did it? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I remember seeing it a few times too, and I'm like,
Yeah,
well, it must be doing something, or they wouldn't be showing the
right,
video like this.
right.
And it really wasn't. I mean,
That's crazy.
It is. And I mean, this is an era where it's like, I mean, first of all, the songwriter is completely unexpected. I mean, you would never
Yeah,
think that Seven Aurelius would do anything like this.
right,
And then it's like, on top of that, I mean, it's utterly organic.
right.
I mean, there's nothing programmed about it. I mean, that's a legitimate string quartet. It's a
Right.
legitimate acoustic
Killing it.
guitar.
Right.
Yes. And leaving, and again, it's like, and I think this is getting lost too, just with the advent of time and people recording at home a lot and using, Pro Tools or Logic at home. It's like people are not really learning how to produce. There really is an art to it.
Right.
There really is an art to like, and I mean, you worked with Foster and even Nokia, and I mean, you worked with people that knew how to do it,
Mhm.
and Warren Campbell, of course, and I mean, we could
Yeah.
go on, and Daryl Simmons, and so on and so forth. Like you worked with people that understood the art of it and what it was to build a track around singers and leave a hole for the singer to fill.
Right.
There's so little of that anymore. It's like it's almost like producers take pride in making the singer fight for it.
Yeah.
And that's not really what production is supposed to be about. And with tracks like this, it's like if you take that voice out and you just listen to the instrumental track, there's this hole where the voice is supposed to be, where that vocal melody is supposed to be.
Right.
And he left all this room for her and took into account the way that her tone is. She's a beautiful tone, but it's thin. It's
Right.
not a muscular shock. She's not Shaka Khan.
Right.
It's thin, beautiful sounding voice, and you need to give it space and get out of its way so it can really work.
Right.
And it does. And I mean, even like when the string quartet is swelling, there's still plenty of room for her and for the background vocal to get in. I mean, it's you said it already, but it's beautifully produced. It's just very well done. And the lyric is so good.
Right.
I mean, it's like, because I mean, I know I've experienced this, you probably have too, but it's like you break up with her and it's whoever she is. You break up with her and you fake like you're okay and everything's okay.
Right.
And then finally you arrive at that point where it's like, I can't deny this anymore. I officially miss you.
Yeah. It just hits you out of
Yeah.
nowhere. Mm-hmm.
And then the pain of it just strikes you. And like at the very end of it, you can tell where she's kind of breaking. It's like, I'm officially missing. And the string quartet comes
pretty
in.
strings, exactly.
Like woman's trying to make us cry, bro. Like
Exactly. Hey, you see me over here tearing up, man. I'm about to switch and put my.
I am too.
Yeah. So
Forget it.
nobody will
Comes
see.
the other glasses.
Yeah, had to. Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
touched me.
Yeah, it's a
I
really
totally forgot how powerful of a record it was, and then just hearing it when you just played it, I'm like, damn. Them lyrics say, I wish you could call me right now so that I could make you something somehow. Like
I could get through to you somehow. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
like,
think
that's
it's safe to
crazy,
say that I'm officially missing you.
Yeah, like, and you could think of it both ways. Like, you didn't say one felt like that about somebody, or somebody didn't hit you and told you they felt like that about you, and it
Yeah,
just hits.
yeah. It's very again. I mean, we talked about it before with the one that with the Shanice tune you picked. Like, this is very slice of life.
Right.
This is what it is. I mean, because you know what it is. Like, because people just kind of write love songs by default that don't really feel like anything sometimes, and you can tell they're just writing to write.
Right.
You don't do that yourself, but you don't do that. You write real stuff.
No, it's crazy, and I heard somebody else say it. It was like certain songs were like a premonition, like you never experienced those feelings, and then you feel them after you wrote it. So you weren't feeling it when you actually wrote it, but then later on, then you really did have felt like that. So it's like you almost kind of like, I don't know if you want to say like jinx yourself or something, like you wrote the song first and then you feel the feeling. Like, hey, did I bring this on myself because I wrote this?
Forget it.
But
I remember, of all the places, I remember there was an interview I heard 1,000 years ago with Debbie Gibson, of all people.
Oh, yeah, I remember her.
Yeah. She wrote Foolish Beat when she was like 14 years old. And she said, I just wrote it to write. Like, I didn't know what it meant. And she's like, years later, it was like, oh, that's what I meant. Like, yeah. A songwriter, Others say that too. It's like they'll
Yeah,
write something
Devontae
years
said he
later.
wrote like the songs on the Forever My Lady album when he was like 15 or 16.
Oh, get
He ain't
out.
never been in love, and he just wrote them lyrics. I guess just came to him. Then
So
he
you're
felt
having
that
my
stuff later.
baby. He was 15.
He was. I don't know about that
Well,
particular
but that was
song,
Al
but
B.
like some of the
Sure.
other songs on there,
That
yeah,
was a lot of Al B on that tune
him and
too. So
Al put that one together.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's different, but still, I mean, like, stay.
Man, right. Sometimes you write off of what you hope it will be, or what you think it might be like. You know.
Jeez. I mean, I know Brian McKnight does a fair amount of that too. Like he kind of writes in fantasy. Like One
Mm,
Last Cry is not real. He wrote that
wow.
in fantasy.
Wow.
And I mean, there's some songwriters that can do it and do it really, really well.
Yeah.
So see, this isn't quite so smooth because now I don't know my way back. But but yeah, for some reason, it just even in spite of the fact that I mean, this lyric is very slice of life. For some reason, it just didn't work. And it doesn't make any sense. But for some reason, the tune just didn't really chart. And I'm looking. I want to say that Questions did though. I think that no, that didn't do anything either. That just got to number 40.
Wow.
And Still, which was the last single off the record, I believe. Did that do anything? I didn't. Gosh, I did even worse. I got to 83. Sheesh, I didn't do anything at
Mm.
all.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
think of what else was out around that time because, like, I know that sometimes when people start getting into different new little feds or types of music and stuff, then they kind of abandon the good stuff. Like, I think
yeah,
who else was out around that time and who was like really, really popping?
yeah. I don't. It's just been so long. Sheesh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I do remember there was in to kind of go along with what you were saying. There was an awful lot going on, and like the
right,
sound was just changing,
right.
and there
So
wasn't.
people
I mean,
jump on the new stuff.
now that I think about it, like I mean, I'm remembering that period, and there really wasn't anything that sounded like officially missing it because
Right,
everything was programmed.
exactly. Then you had that whole period where it was about the people dancing and doing all that stuff, and it really wasn't about the vocals and things of that nature. So
Yeah,
people that were just singing, people was like overlooking all those records for the sake of the ones that was dancing, and you got a whole bunch of people that just look like models and they in the camera. You feel me? And they wasn't even doing nothing musically, but that's what was getting pushed. So the kind of what I like to call real music just get pushed to the wayside. Like, all right, we hear y'all over there, but we on this right now.
that must be what it was. I think you've hit
That's
it. I think
probably
it
what
was
happened
just
because I know
yeah,
that happened to a lot of people when certain people, I ain't gonna say no names, came on the scene and it became a big push with what they said that old song, video killed the radio star.
yeah,
And yeah, like a lot of people that was
Buggles.
just doing stuff in videos and dancing and doing all that type of stuff, and nobody really cared about the real singing for a little while. Like the real singers got relegated to the oldie stations and was
Yeah,
going tour with the oldie stuff, whereas though the other stuff was what was mainstream at that point. So yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, radio doesn't matter anymore because it's dead. But I mean, back then they had a
back
history of
then they
doing
did,
that.
yeah, heavily.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure that's what it was. Yeah, because I
Because
don't. I'm looking here.
it's too good for anything else, like that's too good of a song for it to be any other reason.
Yeah, yeah. Because she didn't. There really is no. I mean, she managed to get up to like number 29 with Me, which is another Shep Crawford thing.
Yeah, I
Uh,
remember that one.
yeah, that's another really good story song. Sheesh, he
Hmm.
has so many of them. But yeah, that was kind of the end of it for her. She didn't really come back like that anymore. So, which is a shame. She's so talented. She still
She
is.
is. Yeah.
So, yeah, sorry, kids. This does not have a happy ending. She didn't come back from this.
Maybe she
So, for
still might.
shame. I should hope so. But I mean, let's be real about ageism. And she's 47 years old.
But she don't really look. The last I saw, bro, I saw a picture of her and her husband like recently, and they still look. Both of them look like they didn't age. So
Yeah,
if you have
I mean,
a cool enough record, maybe it.
yeah, because what is he? I think he's 50. Yeah, he's 50. Grant's 50. He doesn't
Yeah,
look it,
so
and she
50 of them,
certainly
and they
doesn't look
both look
47.
great.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, they do. Yeah, and that's with MS and two children. Like, yeah, not
wow,
bad.
for real.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess anything's possible, but it would be pretty difficult in this climate. So,
Doesn't she still tour? I know I saw her something about her doing some shows like a year or so ago, and a lot of people were excited saying they were gonna go and see her.
yeah, she can still get. Oh, you know what we forgot? We forgot the duet that she did with Eric Benet.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Spend
Spend
my
my
life
life
with
with
you.
you?
Yeah, yeah, that
My
was dope.
gosh.
He's another underrated son of a gun, man. Like that dude is so dope.
Look, that's another one we need to do because he's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
he is like slept on personified. I
he
mean,
is.
he did that record with his sister that nobody looked at,
Oh
and
yeah.
then you remember that one that was on EMI that had that
Mm-hmm.
cover of Rainy Days and Mondays
Mm-hmm.
that Jeff Lorber did with them, and then he did that True to Myself record that yeah
Oh yeah, I
that needs
remember that.
yeah that whole album. Sheesh.
And that one with I Wanna Be Loved on it. That was, man,
Yes,
that's still my
Hurricane.
jam. Oh my goodness, yeah, that album, somebody played it for me. I was going somewhere. I think I was going to do a gospel show, and the lady who was the promoter had came to pick me up, and she had that album playing in her car. And I was like, man, as soon as I got somewhere where it was a record store, I know I had to get my own copy of that. That
Yeah.
dude, yeah.
That's a whole you worked with David Foster. That's a lot of that is Foster.
It's him. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
He did a lot of that record because he was trying so this is a little off the beaten path, but he was trying to do a record called Better and Better. He recorded a whole other album.
Hmm.
And it was right around the time that he broke it off with Halle Berry for reasons we already know about.
Okay.
And Warner Brothers basically noped it. Like they just shelved it
Hmm.
completely. And it had like his version of Better and Better, which ended up being recorded by Layla Hathaway and
Oh, I
officially
love her
released.
too.
Yeah, she's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But his version of that I think is actually better. It's the same track
Mm-hmm.
with his voice on it. It's fantastic. But that record got shelved. And so he took a couple of tracks off that record and then got with David Foster and did a completely different record. And that's what you get as the Hurricane
Man,
album. It's a
I
good
love that
album.
record. Yeah.
He just doesn't put out bad stuff. He still doesn't. He still puts out
Right.
great. So yeah, Eric Benet is great. We got to do that one at some point. We got to do a
Yeah,
select.
that'll be dope.
Like
Heck
just
yeah.
pick one of like his 500 songs because
Hmm.
yeah, fortunately most things got missed. So
Right.
yeah, he's great. And what a perfect duet that was. Sheesh. Like
Yeah. Yeah, they killed that.
her stacking with herself is kind of
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Like
Yeah. Cause she runs like her whole people that like run in the backgrounds and stuff, and it's like they never miss. Like each one they double it, triple it, or whatever. They all spot on.
yeah. And I mean Eric
Yeah.
is such a great vocal arranger.
Mm-hmm.
He always stacks with himself. It's just what he
Yeah.
does. He's so
Yeah.
good at it. Like
And
there's no
harmonies be crazy.
bruh. I'll be there from the first record. Come on. Like
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't fear jazz either. Like
No,
you get
you
jazz
taught
in
me
his
that. You taught
yeah.
me that about those chords. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that well, but I mean there's just he's just absolutely fearless. Just he's such a great ear. My gosh. And then
Yeah.
you take that approach and you marry it to Tamia's vocals. Like that the second chorus is all her stacking with herself. And it sounds
Right.
amazing. Just amazing. And then of course, DeMonte Poggi and George Nash did it with him. So it's
Mm.
clearly their tune. And she
Mm.
sounds great on it. Like I wouldn't have been mad if she'd have done a whole record with them. Like
Yeah, that would be dope.
I think that's the stuff you should be doing. Like it's that right there, and it worked because that got to #1 on the R&B charts, and it even
Yeah.
crossed over pop. Like so, yeah. Just we could not leave that song out. I'm sorry, but we could not leave that
Yeah.
out. Like that's just for both of them. It's a crowning achievement. So
It is.
it's such a great song.
They did it recently. Well, right during the pandemic, they did a video of them singing it together,
Oh,
and
really?
they still sounded great, like just like the record.
Dude, I gotta. I'm assuming it's on YouTube. Yes.
It was on Instagram, so it's probably on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it'll be on
Okay.
YouTube now. Yep.
Yeah, I gotta find that. They both still sound great. He hasn't lost
Yeah.
anything either.
Nope.
So yeah, I gotta check that out. But yeah, I'll go check that out. And all of you who are watching, and you know who you are, you should go check out Officially Missing You. That is on the streamers. That whole album is
Yep.
on the streamers. And how dare you? How dare you? Where do you
How
get
dare
off?
you?
How dare you? The
What's
unmitigated
wrong with
goal.
you?
What's wrong with you? Go, go stream it. Pay her back for missing it. How dare you?
Right,
So,
right.
but these things happen. We talked about why. We get it. So okay, so we're gonna put this one to bed. Hopefully we can do more of these. But thank you again, Woody. Thank you for playing.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate it.
man. For real.
This has been fun. This has been
Yes,
much,
sir.
much fun. So okay, so we're gonna put this one to bed. So there's always more coming. Go look at the website, darn it. There is a website attached to this whole thing. You should go look at it. Like, share, subscribe. You know the deal. I'm not good with this YouTube stuff because I'm old, but just you know what to do. So do that thing, and follow it on Twitter, please and thank you. But yes, until we see you next time, please keep listening to great music.